wants to see that criminals whose names are being broadcast continue to die while solve equations with my right hand and write names with my left.
Oh my, in the chip bag.
Take a potato chip and eat it.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Let's React. I'm Kenny and this is Montana.
And today we're going to be reacting to episode 8 of Death Note, Glare.
I'm not sure what glare could mean, but maybe it's the opposite of overcast, like sun's coming out. Last episode certainly was a dark one. With Light getting Naomi, we learn her name is, to commit suicide and like reveling in it.
Yeah, that was really hard to watch. I'm kind of wondering, so like last episode we had the reveal that L knows about the name and face thing, but I'm really curious to see what he does with that information to like set a trap.
What's going to be L's move? Maybe we'll see it this episode. If you're excited for this episode, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and check out the Patreon link in the description below to see these episodes of Death Note right now in their extended uncut forms. Also, comment down below which series you want us to watch after Death Note ends. Surprisingly enough, we are already about a quarter of a way through the series. Currently, My Hero Academia is in first place, so comment below if you're excited about that show or any other show you want us to watch. All right, are we excited for episode 8 of Death Note?
Absolutely.
All right, let's get it.
Let's go.
Listen up, Dunderheads! This video was brought to you by the incredible members of the Let's React Patreon. If you want access to a ton of exclusive perks, check out the link in the description below. Have a good day, Twinkle Toes!
Episode 8, Glare. And yes, we have found the correct version with the text translated in English, and it has been helpful thus far.
That was
Hell yeah.
footage from surveillance cameras at the station. The death of one of the FBI agents is captured on here.
Let's see the following scenes again. Raye Penber passing the ticket gate on his way
Oh.
in, then him boarding the train, and finally the part where he dies on the platform.
Okay.
He is really zeroed in.
Yeah,
Oh,
got his
there
ice
it is.
cream.
So
Love
based
that.
on the records I have here, Raye Penber comes through the west entrance of Shinjuku Station at 3:11 p.m. Then at 3:13 he boards a train on the Yamanote line. But even if he was following someone at
What
that
did he
time,
just notice?
I think it's going to be very difficult
Oh,
for
when
us
he's
to
falling
draw any
asleep.
real conclusions from this blurry video.
Just
Then at exactly 4:42 p.m. Oh, thank you very much, Watari. At
In order
4:42
to think
p.m.,
like me,
he
you
exits
have
the
to eat
train at
ice cream
Tokyo
while I eat
Station
ice
and
cream.
dies on the
yes.
It's quite strange, don't you think?
I'm sorry, what do you find strange?
Yeah, what is it? Did you notice something?
Oh, no,
We
not
know that
biting
Raye
ice
Penber
cream.
got on the train, and then an hour and a half later he got off and died on the platform. But the Yamanote line only takes an hour to complete its circuit, and more importantly, there's the envelope.
What do you mean?
Whoa. Big brain moment again.
Okay.
He's holding what looks like an envelope when he passes through the ticket gate.
You're right. It's there under his arm.
Yeah.
But in the footage right before his death, it's gone. I can't believe you actually caught that.
That's what he left on the train. That's what
Well, I
killed
don't
him.
see an envelope on this list of his personal effects.
Which means
'Cause
it
Light
was left
grabbed
on
it.
the train. And if you watch closely at the very end here,
Oh, and he was gloating.
seems like he's straining to look inside the train before the doors close. You can see right here.
Oh,
Yagami!
If that's the case, do you think it could mean something?
Wouldn't it be interesting if Kira was on that train?
That's
Oh.
impossible.
Farewell, Raye Penber. I admit I find it hard to believe as well. There's no
'Cause that
reason
would
for
be
Kira to come to the
so
scene of his own
dumb.
crime when he can kill from a distance. Well, maybe he was counting on us to make that assumption and figured he could get away with such a bold move.
yep. They're calling his bluff. Not even a bluff. They're calling
What's going on with you, Light?
I guess they're calling his bluff. It's not what
It's not a...
He assumed they wouldn't even look because it would be so stupid to do so. So it's not a bluff.
They are.
So much as him.
He's... Okay.
You get what I mean?
Now bluff isn't a word.
Yeah.
So...
Come to the scene of his own crime when he can kill from a distance.
Yeah, that was
Well,
careless.
Terrible
maybe he was
call.
counting on us to make that assumption and figured he could get away with such a bold move.
Them being similar is gonna help him discern. Like what he would have done. Makes me wonder
What's
still
going
what he
on
would do
with
with the
you,
Death
Light?
Note.
You
Yeah,
haven't
that is
stopped writing
super
criminals' names
interesting.
in the Death Note for 4 days straight, so what are you trying to prove? I don't see the point in writing these names weeks in advance. I've never seen the Death Note used like this.
Consider it insurance. Suppose the son of the detective superintendent of the NPA was hospitalized. If criminals stopped dying at the same time, it would be difficult to connect the two.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's what this is.
Are you sure that I can use any date as long as it's before the end of a person's predetermined lifespan?
Well, I can't guarantee it because we Shinigami don't normally work that way.
Huh.
But I suppose any time before the end of their lifespan should work.
I really can't count on you, can I?
You got that right.
No.
Nope.
Yes? Yes, would you please hold for a moment? Ryuzaki, it's Yukita at the NPA. He says he's on the phone with someone from the tip line who has information for us.
Oh,
Right. Then
who
give
could it be?
Yukita the number for line 5 and ask him to have the informant call that line instead. It'll be safer that way.
Who could it
Mr.
be?
Matsuda, it's okay for you to turn on your cell phone now. Actually, please turn it on right away.
Sure.
I thought they were out of the room. Did they not do that?
Suzuki, head of
No,
Kyoto's
I think that was the
Investigation Public
beginning.
Information
Okay.
Division.
She's
Ray
using
Pember's
his phone.
fiancée.
Oh, shit.
Naomi Misora. Heard that name before. So it's her. She's from the Los Angeles baby murder case. That's right.
He did
Oh,
She was
remember
working
her.
under me. I guess she must have come to Japan with her fiancé.
He's saying it so French.
Yeah.
Well, apparently she's been missing since the day after her fiancé died.
I'm sure
Oh,
that anyone in her situation would be pretty depressed. Was it?
Suicide.
No, the Naomi Misora I knew was strong. Not to mention she was also an excellent FBI agent.
he
If
knows.
anything, it's more likely she'd be trying to catch Kira.
Okay.
Here she came to Japan with Penber. It's possible that she may have found a lead. If that's the case.
How is he
did Kira
discerning it?
manage to get to her first? Everyone, at this point I'd like to focus our investigation on only those people who Ray Penber was tailing. In particular, he was assigned to 2 police officers and those closest to him.
Very well. Who are these two
Oh,
individuals he was investigating?
boy.
Deputy Director Kitamura, along with Detective Superintendent Yagami and their families.
So that narrows it
At
down.
this stage, I'd like to place wiretaps and surveillance cameras in both households.
Oh,
I have to make sure there's no evidence left on this computer, just
Okay.
in case someone goes through it.
okay. Smart.
So the dad's gonna
Just
know,
have
but
to
he
hide
might
these
not.
clippings from
Do you
the
think he's
video.
gonna tell him? He has to, right?
No,
That
he
would-
can't tell them. The only reason to wiretap somebody's house is to try to catch somebody doing something.
Wow.
So he's asking the director to basically spy on his family.
That's fucked. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I mean, rightfully so. He
Yeah.
has a killer upstairs. So he's deleting the evidence because he can sense he's getting closed in on. But Elle, what another great discernment there.
Yeah, that was pretty brilliant. And I mean, I think killing the fiance was a terrible call. Okay. Like strategically speaking, he was trying to disperse the amount of people who were potentially under suspicion by waiting however many days to kill him after they had that bus incident. And then he just completely set that aside and we're like, no, it's for sure this guy.
Yeah, the second that he got too hasty, they jumped in.
Yeah.
So- But I feel like during the series, I want to have almost like a momentum tracker. And I feel like Elle has the most momentum here, definitely.
Yeah, well, it feels like Light is kind of prepping for defense.
And
Or how he
Yeah.
allows
At
it.
this stage, I'd like to place wiretaps and surveillance cameras in both households.
Now I just have to hide these clippings from the death note in here.
It seems like you're pretty skilled with your hands. I bet you're pretty popular with the girls, aren't you?
Skill has nothing to do
Okay.
with it. It's your looks that count. I'm guessing you're not that popular, are you?
Just roasting him.
Surveillance
Mean.
cameras? Ryuzaki?
I don't see how you could even consider this. If this got out, we'd have a civil rights scandal on our hands. We'd all lose our jobs.
You told me you'd be willing to risk your lives for this investigation, but you wouldn't risk your jobs?
Ryuzaki, what are the odds that
Interesting.
Kid is in one of those households?
Maybe 10%. No, it's closer to 5%.
Seriously? I'm sorry, but it's not worth the risk.
No. Of all the people we've investigated so far, not one of them seemed even the least bit suspicious.
Yeah.
Even if there's only a 1% chance, we simply can't afford to ignore it.
Chief?
I don't have to tell you how offended I am to learn my family is under suspicion. Having said that, just go ahead with it.
Oh boy.
And
Okay.
make sure you install them everywhere. I don't want any blind spots in the house, and that includes the bathroom.
Thank you very much.
All
That
right.
was my intention.
Come on, Chief. You don't have to agree to this.
Wait, so
Yes, he's right. Think
Light's
about your family. You have a
screwed
wife
in
and
a
daughter
way.
at home, don't you?
Yes, I'm well aware of that fact. But there is no point in doing any of this if we can't
I mean,
be
not at the
thorough.
house.
Now I suggest you keep quiet.
how's he going to get the death note out if he's under surveillance?
I'm sorry.
Is it cameras or just wiretaps?
Camera
okay.
and wiretaps.
Excuse me.
So he's kind of getting upset here.
Watari, how long will it take to prepare the wiretaps and cameras we need?
Well, starting tomorrow, I can set them up at any time, provided we know when both houses will be empty.
Yeah. So they're not going to tell the families.
See you later, Light.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So Light is about to just be literally under surveillance.
Do you think he's going to realize he's being surveilled?
Oh, that's the question. Is he even going to know? Are there any Death Note powers that would help him with that?
Ryuk might notice and tell him just because it would be funny.
Like-
And he set up the, in advance killing so that if anything did happen to him, theoretically, if he did know that there were cameras in the house, he could have a page of the Death Note in his pocket. He could not touch anything in his room. He could just let all of the kills he has lined up continue to happen while not touching it.
Yeah. This will prove his innocence.
Exactly. Maybe write down a couple other random people with a different specific death to throw them off, but nothing happened in the house. So if he knows, I think he can almost use it to
Clear any suspicion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He can use it in the exact opposite way that it's intended. If he doesn't know, he's fucked.
That's an interesting idea. If he overcomes this challenge, he's almost above suspicion
Exactly.
because they'd be like, he's like, we already
filmed in my bathroom.
Okay.
What more do you want?
Wow.
What? No one's home yet. I'm home.
You already noticed it was weird. Nobody was home.
Mm-hmm.
How's it going? I don't think anyone else is in the house right now. Do you want to play some video games? Come on, it's been a while.
Nope.
You listening?
So there's that little piece of paper that fell out as he...
Do you think that was a test to see if someone had opened the door? Because it would fall out.
Yeah.
They can see taping at
Maybe.
hotels.
Do you want to play some video games? Come on, it's been a while.
Ryuk just...
It's I'm so bored.
Come
You
on.
listening?
If only Shinigami had video games. They wouldn't be so bored.
Hey, Light.
Very true.
He's not going to talk to him because he already senses it.
I don't believe it.
Oh.
You went to such great lengths.
Oh my god, I hadn't even thought about
He doesn't
that.
want anyone else to see.
For
Oh.
a 17-year-old kid, I wouldn't say this kind of behavior is particularly abnormal. When I was his age, I did strange things too.
Okay. All right. L.
I hadn't thought about the fact that he absolutely cannot have a conversation with Ryuk.
No, he can't.
That I had not considered that for a second. Wow.
The way he already
That
picked
was
up on
very
it,
dumb
too.
of me. Yeah.
He already kind of can sense something.
I don't believe it.
For a 17-year-old kid, I wouldn't say this kind of behavior is particularly abnormal. When
Of course he
I was his age,
understands.
I did strange
For
things
you.
too. Have you ever talked to your son
Weirdo.
about the investigation?
Of course not. I've never once revealed classified information to my family.
Where exactly are we going?
He
Light,
knows.
don't ignore me when I'm talking to you.
How does he
or I'll
know?
get mad.
Doesn't look like these clothes have been bugged. I think we're safe. Listen to me. There's a very strong possibility that there are wiretaps and maybe surveillance cameras hidden throughout my house.
How?
Really? But that piece of paper was still in your door, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's the thing. The
That's
tests were
true,
still there.
But it was
I left the paper in the door in
two
a way that
right
it would
there.
be obvious
Mm.
to anyone entering the room.
So they would
The
make
real
other
test is
mistakes.
The handle.
The handle was the real
When the door
hand.
is closed, the door handle automatically returns to a horizontal position and it won't go any higher than that. But whenever I close the door, I adjust it slightly. Instead of letting it sit horizontally, I lower it by about 5 millimeters. When I
Oh
get
my
home and I
God.
try to open the door. If the handle is all the way up, I can be fairly certain that someone was in my room.
What?
That method alone doesn't tell me if my door was actually opened. So I put a mechanical pencil head in place as well.
So what do you do with it?
It goes on the hinge. After I close the door, I take the pencil lead and rest it on the hinge in such a way that it will break if the door happens to be open.
Oh my
anyway.
god.
Normally, I'd take it out myself when I get back home. When I got home from school today, I noticed that the pencil lead was broken.
Oh,
Now that
Are you
mention it, I do
kidding me?
remember that.
First the door handle, then the lead. I know someone was in there today.
Maybe it was your mother.
He's
The
so
family wouldn't
smart.
have noticed the piece of paper. What's suspicious
That's
is
true.
that someone took the time to put it back in the door.
Okay, so the suspicion was determined by the cross-referencing, I guess, of the broken lead, which could have been his mom or a detective, but only a detective would have left the paper back the way it was.
well, and there was
Yeah.
no reason to put the thing back unless they specifically were like, we want him to think that no one was in here, and
Absolutely.
that's problematic.
Wow.
This is so awesome.
Momentum
What's this
back to
all
light.
about? Are you buying a book about wiretaps and surveillance so you can figure this mess out?
By the way, Ryuk, what about your apples?
That's right, surveillance cameras. Once the apple's in my mouth, no one can see it. But while I'm holding it, it looks like it's floating.
Oh.
Oh no.
You told me that Shinigami can't die, so I guess it won't kill you to stop eating apples for a while.
Don't you think that's a bit much? Come on. I never told you this, but apples are to me what cigarettes and alcohol are to humans.
Oh.
Do you see what I'm saying? I even get withdrawal symptoms.
Oh yeah? What kind of symptoms?
How so?
My body gets all twisted. I do handstands. It's not pretty.
I don't need to see that.
I know.
Okay, here's the thing.
He's an addict.
Unfortunately, I already gave Elle the hint that Shinigami love apples,
An
so
apple
I just
dick.
can't afford to take the risk.
When did you?
If it's so important for you to eat apples,
Don't tell me
Do
there's
it
a tree
outside.
you'll have
or-
to find out where all the cameras are hidden. If you're lucky, you might find a blind spot where you can eat them without being seen.
He's using Ryuk.
Right? Let's
And
go.
the apple.
Yeah, a camera search. Sounds so interesting.
Okay.
My God.
So now he knows that the apples are like this addiction thing, so he's using it
Yeah.
against Ryuk to use him.
Yeah.
That's
So
so
now
smart.
it's gone beyond like, oh, he's just watching and is just interesting. Like now he's like working for him.
Yeah.
Not
He's gonna
because
help
he
him
wants
find
to
cameras.
help, but because he like is being played.
It's crazy. Wow.
Wow.
Oh, I have to find the cameras.
I can't believe my son is looking at those magazines.
It's normal for a 17-year-old. But it seems contrived. It's too obvious. The only reason he didn't want anyone in his room was because he had his magazines. That's what he wants.
Yeah, he's
Oh
just
my
throwing
God,
them off.
that's
Son you're
so
talking about.
smart.
Yeah.
Are you honestly telling me that you suspect him?
I do suspect him.
I found a camera in the air conditioner.
So they really put cameras in here. They must have bugged the place as well. Even if this is the Kira case, I didn't think the Japanese police would ever go this far. This must be Elle's idea, which means they've narrowed down their list of suspects. By now, they must have figured out that it was someone who Raye Pember was investigating, or they wouldn't have gone to all this trouble.
Just casually has the magazine for this reason.
Man, these covers mislead you all the time. No. Given the situation, it's safer if I just assume I'm their prime suspect and the only one being watched. It'll be okay. Luckily, I prepared for this kind of situation.
Of course he did.
Oh, Light.
Hey, Light! Come on!
Disappointing his father, but
Dinner's
at least he's not
ready.
like the killer.
In like the most normal way possible.
Yeah. Why does that look like Light Loki?
Yeah.
Hideki Ryuga! I swear he's perfect! How come no one in my class is like that?
Sayu, just eat your dinner.
I'll eat later.
Hello, Mr. Aizawa. Are the Kitamuras watching television now?
Why does he hold phones like
He's
that?
not home, but the other four are watching.
Did you see
while
that?
they dinner.
Mm-hmm.
It's Channel 4.
Watari, please contact the broadcasters and tell them to play our message.
Very well. Understood.
That's right.
So he can see how he reacts
What's
to like
Oh.
a broadcast.
ICPO. They're saying that in response to the Kira murders, Interpol has decided to dispatch a force of 1,500 investigators to Japan. The investigators were drawn from the law enforcement agencies of its member nation.
Master play.
And see what he does, because
Investigators?
Yeah.
Oh.
Chances are they've got cameras in the living room as well. Regardless of
Two
whether
on
this
it.
news is real or not, it's obvious they're just trying to evoke reaction from me.
Oh my god.
This is the exact same trick he used last time. The ICPO sure is stupid.
Huh?
I mean, there's no point in making this announcement. If they're gonna send all these people here to investigate, shouldn't they keep it a secret?
Even the FBI agents who were secretly investigating were killed by Kira. Why would this be any different? If you ask me, this is nothing more than a desperate attempt to shock Kira in the hopes that he'll reveal himself somehow. Quite frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if Kira sees right through this.
Your son's clever, isn't he?
Well, yes.
Oh my
He
god.
had to show off a little bit.
Yeah.
You're eating a bag of chips? You just had dinner.
God, the essay I could write on a Walter White comparison.
Late night
Poked
snack for
chip.
studying.
There's one other spoiler I have for Death Note.
Don't tell me.
It's not even a spoiler if I say it. Potato chip.
You're eating
Okay.
a bag
That is
of
the
chips?
only thing
You
I
just
know.
had dinner. Your good looks are gonna go down the drain if you keep that
But this
up.
is exactly like,
snack
oh,
for
it just looks like rote copying to me.
Yeah.
Heisenberg's
No,
still
I
out
was
there.
saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I wish I had voiced it because my brain literally thought, no, this is nothing more than rote copying. Like, you're totally right. He literally, and the way he's
I
like,
think your Heisenberg might still be out there.
oh my god. The similarities between Light and Heisenberg.
No, I'm saying the essay I could write on Light versus Walter White.
Wow.
Oh, that's a good
Walter
title,
Light.
too. Eat whatever you want.
I think that's it, Light. I found every camera they put in the house. There sure are a lot of cameras in this room. I counted 64 in total. I guess
Whoa.
whoever put them here expected you to at least find some of them.
It has to be L. He had no qualms about putting a death row inmate in his place when he declared war on me. It's pretty clear he doesn't know.
But the thing
any
is,
limits.
L has to know that Light would have figured it out.
Yes, it's really a game of how much they can anticipate each other's future move.
It's pretty clear he doesn't know any limits.
Yeah.
What I want to know is how am I going to be able to eat apples?
Obviously, that's impossible now, isn't
That's all
it?
he cares about.
Oh,
Out of
yeah,
the
I guess
house.
you can't talk
Anywhere
here.
else.
Literally anywhere
We
else.
better discuss this outside tomorrow.
Okay, I think I'm getting the hang of this now. Judging by the number of cameras he's planted, he's planning to make a decision within a short period of time. Any normal person would slip under these circumstances, but it won't be that easy with me, L. This is the closest you get.
What? Why is he laughing like this?
What?
I've set things up so that
was
criminals
the,
will
like,
continue
sparkle
to die
in the
over
bottom
the
of the
next 3
bag?
weeks. But Elle is aware by now that Kira can control the times of death of his victims. Therefore, to avoid suspicion, Elle needs to see that criminals whose names are being broadcast continue to die while I have no access to that information.
How?
Oh, the symptoms are starting!
I'm gonna show you, Elle.
What's he doing?
With Ryuk's information and my preparations, I can continue to
Oh,
kill
Ryuk was
criminals
bringing
whose
him
names are
information.
broadcast on the news, while masquerading as a typical high school student studying for his entrance exams. Just watch me, Elle. I'll solve equations with my right hand and write names with my left.
Oh my, in the chip bag.
Take a potato chip and eat it.
Oh my god.
Holy
This
shit.
is genius.
After dinner, your son just goes back to studying.
He's
without turning on
ambidextrous.
TV or his computer.
It's because the entrance exams
crazy.
are 5 days away.
What a genius move.
A criminal who I should have no knowledge of will die of a heart attack in 40 seconds. And the witness to my alibi is L himself.
Yeah, that's the thing. This will put him above suspicion.
All right, just a little bit longer.
I take a chip and I eat it. Okay, what did we think of that scene?
Holy shit. Okay. I mean, that was brilliant.
Yeah.
The simultaneous, like, equations and also name writing is just, like, so next level.
Yeah. And of course he says he's prepared for situations like this, so he's tried to figure out how to write with both hands, I bet.
Oh my god. Yeah. For some reason, something that stuck out in my mind was the way that Elle responded when he was informed that the entrance exams are soon, and my guess is that the way Elle would prepare for an exam 5 days before is not at all like that. Just any kind of like, if I were in his position, I wouldn't be studying like this, therefore this has to be a trap kind of situation.
Yeah, I could definitely
see that something gave me that vibe.
Yeah,
so,
but I mean, overall, really smart move. They didn't see the camera itself, but he was definitely tipped off on something. I feel like the amount of things Light is doing, regardless of if Elle likes him or not, I feel like maybe he'll ask him to join the task force or something. Like, regardless of if Elle thinks that he is Kira, I think that Elle's gonna want to keep interacting with him because he's seeing himself in him, in a way.
Interesting.
A few minutes ago, a bank clerk being questioned on suspicion of embezzlement and a purse snatcher being held in a detention center were broadcast on the news. They both just died of sudden, inexplicable heart attacks.
It's him again.
While all that was happening at your home, your wife and daughter were watching television. When that was over, they turned the TV off and didn't watch anything afterwards. From just past 7:30 until now, 11 o'clock, your son's done nothing but study. Kira needs a name and a face. Without those, he can't kill.
Oh.
So I suppose anyone who didn't watch the news can't be Kira, right?
He's working.
You said it yourself.
Working.
That means my family has been cleared.
It doesn't make sense that Kira would kill 2 petty criminals right after their identities were broadcast. I know it's only the first day after the cameras were installed, but the Yagami household seems almost too innocent to me.
Just right in front of their dad.
Yeah.
Light, are you up yet?
Wow.
Yeah, hasn't quite gotten him yet, but
Today's
definitely made
garbage day, so
progress.
if you've got any, bring it down with you, okay?
Oh, no. Oh, the names and the device in the trash.
There's no need to remind me, Mom.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hopefully she doesn't touch the trash.
I can't say for sure whether you're extremely generous or just a spoiled brat. But didn't that mini LCD TV cost you $400?
Yeah, that was gotta be expensive back then. Oh.
Did he forget that it was in there?
No, he's more saying, making sure it goes. Oh no. Hopefully it doesn't get pressed out. That was sus.
I have important information concerning the Kira investigation.
I won't tell anyone. What is it?
And now if he gets the Shinigami eyes, he could take out Elle.
Oh.
I want to tell you I'm Elle.
Whoa, what? All right.
Wow. Well, that was episode 8 of Death Note. What a cliffhanger to leave us on. What are your thoughts before we jump into our discussion?
I love this show. I'm having so much fun.
Well, you were saying this is your favorite show, the most your type of...
I think it's, for sure. I think this show so far has been the most similar to other shows that I watched. I'm a big, Law & Order, CSI, Criminal Minds. The psychological aspect of shows is always my favorite. I loved Sherlock, and this is so in line with that. It's really cool.
Thank you for watching, and please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and check out the Patreon linked in the description below to see episodes early, including these episodes, which are all posted in their extended uncut forms. We have a lot to discuss, but before we do that, where are we headed?
All right, let's review.
Thank you for watching. For now, we're going to go to questions given to us by our amazing Patreon members. If you want to ask us questions after every episode we watch, join the link in the description below and start asking. For now, let's go to question 1. Exhausted asks, what do you think of Detective Yagami's persistence in finding Kira despite his family being under investigation and left to be recorded in such a vulnerable space? How far do you think he'd allow Elle to investigate them? How far do you think he'd be willing to go for the case?
I think at a surface level, it's really admirable to put yourself through what you would expect other people to go through. If you were willing to do something to someone else that you wouldn't subject your own family to, that's kind of fucked up. So from that situation, that speaks to his integrity as a police person, but just doing it at all is not great. However, I get that in this kind of situation, you really don't have a whole lot of options.
Yeah, extreme circumstances require extreme measures.
Exactly. And the other thing is, he literally can't do anything, even if he wanted to, because saying, no, you're not going to do that is so suspicious.
It's suspicious.
Even if he was this is a disgrace. This is like morally wrong. He cannot do a thing about it.
Yeah, that's the fascinating thing, is that it really is, you have to comply or else you look suspicious.
Exactly.
Type things.
Some people in situations where they're asked to comply with an investigation, they will super comply to give the appearance that they are like, it's like when people are like, oh yeah, I'll give a DNA sample, I'll give a hair sample, whatever you want. Here's my phone, whatever. A lot of times those people are guilty because they're trying to like play off the this guy's so helpful, he couldn't possibly be guilty, because if you were guilty, this would be crazy.
Yeah, kind of like how he said that the house was a little bit too perfect when they were looking into it.
Exactly.
Yeah. We'll see if he continues looking and sees through this fake innocence. But let's go to question 2.
All right, Curtis Mitchell asks, why can't Light help himself and takes a shot at Elle when he should just stay silent?
I'm gonna puzzle over that for a while, because that was so unneeded and so suspicious, but not suspicious enough to be an issue. It was just enough to keep Elle's attention. It's another crack in the ego of Light, where it, just like Heisenberg or Walter White, he can't quite not get credit for it, because that would mean he's not getting the glory of the god that he's trying to be. It's something that was brought up in God of War Ragnarok that's interesting, is like the concept of like, you're a god, but nobody worships you. So like, what do you even do? Are you even a god if you're not being worshipped? And I feel like Light has a similar thing where he's like, I enjoy people liking Kira and I enjoy being Kira. So almost saying like, your plan is stupid. Like he would see right through this. Like it's almost like he wants the challenge. I don't know what to quite make of it, but I do know that it is going to be his downfall eventually.
I feel like him not being able to help himself in saying that just completely unnecessary statement is another thing in the series of events that shows that Light is not actually doing this for like the greater good.
Yeah.
And is doing it for personal reasons. And it's like a vendetta. And it's like feeds his god complex, and it's for him, it's not for other people. It's a very similar idea to telling Naomi that he was Kira right before she lost control of what was going on. So she wasn't going to remember that. He had already taken, like, there was literally no reason for it. And in the very beginning, he was justifying all this horrible stuff by saying like, yeah, but they're bad and it's for the greater good. And like the utopia I'll create afterwards is like worth it.
Yeah.
Those actions are not, he's doing so many things that are not only not in line with the thing he's trying to do, but actively counteract the thing he's trying to do.
Yeah.
Like he's not gonna be able to save the world and create this utopia if he gets caught, because he has to tell people how smart he is in the third person. Like that is not for other people, that's for you.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's starting to seem like it is becoming part of it, a big part of his ego.
Totally.
This show. So yeah, not looking good for Light if he continues to kind of egotistically flex. I mean, that's what tipped him off about the train, like him staring into it. Like we're gonna have to see. All right, let's go to our final question. Final question. DK Lounge asks, how would you describe the character of Elle based off his posture and behavior?
Definitely very different, but the main thing, at least that I noticed, is does not prioritize or really care about the way he's perceived at all, in terms of asking people to do stuff that he's not gonna do, or bringing people into a room and then sitting on a chair with your bare feet. All that stuff is just very much in line with someone who truly does not care what other people think.
Yeah, he seems so in his own world.
Very, very singularly focused and kind of just on a different wavelength than everyone else.
That's a good word for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just seems like a different creature. He's just...
a little bit of a different beast.
Yeah, well, almost like Batman. Ooh, that's an interesting comparison. Okay, so Batman in the most recent movie, The Batman, Robert Pattinson, you saw it with me.
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson was a lot more comfortable as Batman, but when he was Bruce Wayne, he was really weird, standoffish. All he was doing was looking at criminal stuff and figuring out. It feels like Elle's a little bit in that, where he's so obsessed with justice that any energy spent on social norms, dressing up, putting on shoes, getting some sunlight, that is stuff that could time that could have been spent being the best detective in the world.
Totally.
So he does seem singularly focused and quirky, but I think it is, he's cracking the case that none of them would have been able to touch without him.
Totally.
Yeah, so I really like him, and I'm excited to see more of him and Light's game of cat and mouse, but that is about it for episode 8. Thank you for watching. Are we excited for episode 9 of Death Note?
Can't wait.
All right, let's get it.
Let's go.